Sairam, everyone.
Sairam.
I think last week we were discussing the words of Rama to Sumantra. I think that was the point. I think we had lots of discussion about why Rama said Sumantra had to go on, and if Dasharatha were to admonish him to tell him that he didn't hear. And Swami says that's not wrong. I think we had lots of discussion about that, but that's the reality. Even in Ramakatha Rasavahini, Swami says the same thing. That Rama says that the words of Dasharatha, which was spoken, was as a grieved father, and that listening to him would prolong the agony of Dasharatha and the people of the country, and it's a sin to put them into such trouble because of a personal attachment. So he says it's not improper for you to say that you did not hear. Those are the words which Swami has also repeated in Ramakatha Rasavahini, and that was the same thing which Valmiki also has written in Ramayana. So I think these are exceptions where higher truth needs to be put in place, given preference. These are exceptions, but Swami also wants us to know that there are exceptions when there are conflicting situations coming. We need to take the higher road. This is what I think we can understand. We can discuss it further, but I will ask Sister Kalyani to read on, because the next paragraph also talks about the same thing. Sairam, Sister Kalyani.
He told Sumanta, "You have obeyed the orders of your king. You did not obey the orders given by my father. We should observe the important distinction which Rama is making between king and father. If, say, a person by name Yalaya with 4 sons becomes a minister, in the olden days, he used to think that the minister had no children, but all the people in the country were his children, and would look after everyone. But in these days, the moment Yalaya has become a minister, his 4 children become important. They are not recognizing that along with a position, there is a responsibility when he occupies that position. Thus, if we compare the situation today with the situation that existed in the time of Rama Rajya, we will see a big difference."
Okay, I think Swami is again emphasizing on the same point of an individual responsibility versus a societal responsibility, and which needs to be given greater importance. So I will open it up for any comments of anyone, please. I don't think that requires any further explanation from my side. Saila. I guess it's pretty clear for everyone. If that is so, I think, Sister Kalyani, if there are no comments, I think we can proceed further.
The rishis are leaders of the world. That is, they are the pathfinders. In history, you may find various human qualities ascribed to great rishis. All such qualities have always been used by them for the prosperity of the people. Individuals who cannot understand this truth begin to comment and discuss the conduct of these great rishis. Rishis were always totally selfless. All their actions were directed toward the prosperity of the people. The important events that are contained in the sacred story of Ramayana are examples for proclaiming such ideals. Every word in the Ramayana has the potency of a mantra. Rama has been showing himself as an ideal human being.
Thank you very much, sister. I think Swami is going on to repeat the same thing, that even if Rama asked Sumantra to say something which may seem an untruth or improper, I think the intention has always the prosperity of the people, is what Swami is trying to emphasize here. There are many things which people may find not so palatable or not good, not fitting their definition of what is right and wrong, dharma. But Swami says that if you analyze, if you see through, you will find whatever they did was for the welfare of everyone, for the people. And I think that always trumps any individual need or even individual sense of duty. People are willing to sacrifice anything for the betterment of the prosperity of a large or all the people in this world. And that's what Swami is commenting, because we will always find ways to discuss and whether, did Rama did the right thing or the rishis did the right thing. But Swami wants us to see what the underlying motivation for whatever they did or said, because they always had everyone's welfare at their heart. In this case, Rama was sacrificing a lot in his own personal life. But even through that, he did not give room for any personal attachment, any personal desire, wish, except everyone should be happy, dharma should be upheld. So those were the driving forces. I think Swami is re-emphasizing that to all of us. Sai Ram. I will stop here and I will open it up for any comments or thoughts from the participants. Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, when I look at the sentence here, rishis were always totally selfish. Immediately in my mind, the Durvasha Munivar, he came into my mind. Even Devas level or the human level, at that time, all were really scared about Durvasha Muni. He would have done for the welfare of the people, but still all were really scared about that Durvasha Muni. If he comes into a place, something bad will happen to them, kind of. Even the story, the Mahabharata story or the Ramayana story, even my understanding, I remember that in the last stage in Ramayana, maybe the Yamadharma came to meet Rama in person, just personally with Rama, but the Durvasa Munivar came into the doorstep and the Lakshman was there, and he threatened Lakshman, if you didn't open the door, I will do something kind of. So there could be some true the purpose for why Durvasa Munivar came in the Ramayana at the end. But when we look at with the human eyes, always that Muni is the troublemaking Muni kind of. Now I understand with the Swami's explanation that everything is for even though we criticize why that rishi is like that, why this one like that, that one like that, but there must be a good underlying reason for the behaviors of the rishis. So is anything more on that one? Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much. I will open it up for any participant to share your thoughts, please. Okay, no one is speaking, so I will say a few words. Sairam sister, yes, you are right. There are two instances. Swami says Lakshmana did not obey his brother. The first time was when Sita was saying harsh words to Lakshmana. He could not bear it, and he did not obey Rama's word that he should not leave the side of Sita. So that was one point. The second time he did not obey Rama was when Durvasa came and Rama had told Lakshmana not to interrupt him. So Lakshmana felt that he will face the consequences of disobeying his brother because he felt if Durvasa was upset, there would be greater calamity, and he was willing to sacrifice himself at that point in time, and so he interrupted Rama. Yes, I think you're right. Sage like Durvasa and all, they may have certain rough qualities which people were worried about, but I think these are the people who sort of kept people in check, because if such people are not there, the world, would be a more chaotic place, I guess. So everyone is assigned a role by God. But Durvasa was a great rishi of great renunciation. He would apparently can go without food for many days. But when he says, I'm hungry, and somebody says that they will feed, they have to feed him to his fill. So it's very difficult for us to understand how these great souls function. I think that's what. But Swami says we have to see that they are never interested in their own welfare, but in the welfare of everyone. That's all I understand. But you are right. Swami says Swami does not want us to challenge and criticize these great rishis who are listed in various scriptures, but to understand what their motivation is. Sairam, sister.
Thank you, Sairam.
In this context, we can think of sage Vishwamitra when he comes to King Harichandra and asking for gold and testing his Sabya. The testing is whether if he keeps up the plighted word. So at first we might think that why this sage is doing so much so that the child dies, she becomes a slave, and the Harichandra goes as a cremation guard and like that. But ultimately the truth wins and everybody resurrected, and then there is a good teaching. So the rishis do so many things like this. Even Vishwamitra comes and takes Rama to the forest to kill that giantess, that lady. So again, they say so many things, but Dasarada didn't like. No, the Dasarada didn't like when Vishwamitra asked Rama to accompany him to the forest to help the yaga to be protected from the ogress. But Dasarada yielded because Vasudha was counseling Dasarada to allow Rama to go with him, and so many things are there, and everything makes sense. Thank you, Saya.
Sai Ram. Thank you very much, brother. Does anyone else have something to say, please? Go ahead. I guess if no one has anything to say, we can proceed, Sister Kalyan.
Students, you have the responsibility for the good of the country, and it is necessary for you to understand the inner significant meaning of Ramayana. It is not right for you to think that these are just stories which have been created by somebody and that they have no relation to the context of your life. These are incidents which have been narrated by Maharishis and offer an ideal to you to follow at all stages of your life, whatever the situation may be, whatever position you may be occupying, and whatever the circumstances may be. But today, we are not making an attempt to keep our thought and intelligence in the correct path. The intelligence that has been given to you so that you may understand who you are is being used to understand the rest of the world and not yourself.
Thank you very much, sister. So I think Swami is highlighting something which lots of people talk about, or they comment. Because what happens is we take these ancient scriptures and many people feel that it's not relevant. And I think it's the same thing, even there are great truths which Swami has put in place. And there are people who feel that it is not suitable for cultures around the world. And the Swami has talked about that as well, saying that the spiritual culture is universal and it should be practiced everywhere. So these are principles and truths which transcend time and applicable at all times. At least the principles. And that's what Swami wants us to pay attention to. I think he says students, which means to anyone who is interested in learning from Swami. So he wants us to. And another thing which he says is, I think the last sentence is, I think it's very potent, where he says the intelligence that has been given to you so that you may understand who you are is being used to understand the rest of the world and not yourself. Because the Swami says the buddhi which has been given to people, we always used to evaluate how others are. We very seldom use it to evaluate how we are. I think Swami talks about it a lot, because he says buddhi is like a mirror which has been given to look at yourself and make yourself better. However, you are taking that mirror and trying to show it to other people so that they can look at their faces on that mirror. In that process, you are not using it for your own betterment. That's also something which Swami has said. So here also, I think Swami wants us to look at this and see what is the real principle here and how can we apply it to ourselves. I think that's the point which Swami is trying to make. I'll stop here, and anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please go ahead. I guess there's a lot of silence. As you can see, Swami says all stages of your life, whatever the situation may be, whatever position you may be occupying, and whatever circumstances may be. So through all this, Swami is trying to emphasize that these are universal principles which we have to apply. That's
it sometimes happen in people's life when they are in poverty, tendency to tell lies or do some stealing. In general humanity, we can see that now in the back home. So, as you pointed out, as Brother Aruna has pointed out, that principle should be kept whatever the circumstances may be. In trying situations like this, also we have to keep up the ideal, dharmic ideal which has been shown by Rama or Krishna. Yeah, that is just I wanted to share it here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Brother Saira. Anyone else would like to say anything, please?
Sairam, I want to say something on here. Like these are all illustrations Swami is trying to explain. The Atma Dharma is more important than the Ashrama Dharma. So that we should be giving importance to the Atma Dharma. That whatever that is important for the whole betterment of the whole human being, that is most important. If you look, we had learned a story, Annidhi and the Solan. I don't know. Hopefully, everybody know the story. And even though that it was the son, knowingly or unknowingly, he killed that cow, that calf. But even though the son, that he was the son of the king, but the king made people to understand that the justice is to everybody. That's to anybody and everybody. The justice is the most valuable thing. So we have to learn a lot of things out of this story. And when we are reading this, it makes me to understand because these days none of these politicians. I don't know. I have no I don't want to judge anybody, but the thing is, we should be putting these politicians to this kind of Mahabharata and Ramayana test, and then only they should be eligible to apply for this candidacy of this to represent the people. Then how the world would be, and Swami as mentioned, this is not for any particular group. This is for the betterment of the whole humanity, every nation. This is a valid principle that we have to adopt. And one more thing I want to add it, and Swami was giving importance to people who serve the country. And one of those thing when I was listening to Radio Sai, they were telling any soldier, when he comes to Prasanthi, Swami will definitely go and meet them. He doesn't look for people who are very highly professional or well successful in their financial career, whatever who may be. But Swami will, he don't want to go to them, but definitely he will go and meet these people who serve the nation. That is most important thing. We all have to do that in our life. Thank you, Saira.
Saira, thank you very much. Anyone
Sairam,
else?
brother.
Yes.
Sairam, brother.
Yes.
The last sentence, it's kind of confusing. The intelligence that has been given to you so that you may understand who you are, right, is being used to understand the world and not yourself. All this time we are trying to understand ourselves. Now we are saying understand the world. That is something. Can you clarify, please? Or some other people who have understand about this?
So I will let anyone else comment, please.
Sairam, I think she is right, but she is not clearly getting it. So we are in our study circle group. We are trying to understand who we are, who I am. But in generally, people don't go introvert. They always extrovert and use the intelligence to find out who others are, what is he doing, what is his business, how much salary he is earning. He is a liar. He is so much. We are studying the others. We should study ourselves, and we must find out the answer of who am I. So that is clearly it is there. Maybe the sister doesn't get it. I don't know. Thank you, Sir.
Sairam, brother. Anyone else would like to say anything, please?
So, Sairam, brother. So this one is teach us everything, how the king's supposed to be rule the country between the husband and wife, what's the relationship supposed to be within the brothers, sisters, what is the citizen supposed to do, what is their roles and everything. For an example, we can take Hanuman. When he went to Sri Lanka, then everybody asked who you are. He said, I am Rama's servant. He didn't say I am a powerful man. He didn't show his ego and everything. Because of that, his humbleness and without ego, he can successfully get the seat. He achieved the task, whatever was given by Lord Rama. Same thing. When we do any service without the selfless service, our ego will destroy without us. That is the purpose of we are doing all kind of service to destroy our ego. This will clear our mind. So this will lead us to the correct path. So we can talk about so many things in the Ramayana. So this is my understanding. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Sairam, anyone else would like to share anything, please?
Sairam, brother, the one I asked you about the last sentence,
Yes.
I think I missed one of the comma. That's fine. I understand the word. So first of all, we have to understand ourselves, not the world. That's the meaning of it.
Yes.
Thank you for clarifying against Brother Sivadas. Thanks, Sairam.
Sairam. Sairam, anyone else would like to share any thoughts? Or if not, Sister Kalyani, we can proceed.
If the intelligence that has been given to you for the purpose of introspection and search of your Atma is used to procure food, there is no meaning in your life. Even the birds and the animals are searching and procuring food. It is a shame to be born as a human being just for the sake of getting food to eat. If a mirror that is given to you to look at, your own face, is used to see the faces of others, how are you going to know your own face? God has gifted this intelligence to you so that you may be able to understand yourself and to realize your own true nature. Make an attempt in the first instance to find out who you are. It is this inquiry that will automatically become the inquiry of self and lead to questions like, who am I? Am I this body? Am I this mind? Am I this intelligence? Etc.
Thank you very much, Sister. So Sairam, everyone, I think Swami is going on to further explain what he told us in the previous paragraph, that we should use the faculties given to us for our own self-improvement and not for material benefits, nor to find faults with others, I guess, because that does not help in our improvement. So that's what I can see. I will ask anyone else in the group, study circle to share your thoughts.
Sairam, here Bhagavan is trying to say that you can earn livelihood. You can earn livelihood. You can learn the skills and do a job and get money to procure food but at the same time, or more importantly, the intelligence should be used for introspection and so self-inquiry. So who am I? Who am I? So Bhavan has said, that when the child is born, the child is crying, Koham, is it correct? Brother, no? Koham, no? Who am I? And when the child departs the world, it should be able to say, Soham, I am he. So when the child is born, it is crying, Koham, Koham, who am I, who am I? And throughout the life, it should learn and it should be happy to depart the world saying that Soham, I am he. So that sort of things depicted here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, brother. Anyone else would like to add?
I think Swami is trying to tell us that even the low-level creatures, it's like birds or animals, the eating, mating, and dying are common to all the creatures in the nature. We have given an intelligence, the more than the other, the birds or animals, they can get it. So if the intelligence is given to us, what we are doing, we are looking at others, the faces. That means that we are looking at others, what they are doing, whether they are doing something wrong, they are doing something good. We never ever, self-justify or the self-assess ourselves, what we are doing, whether we are in the right path or whether we are in the right track, or we never do that. And we are looking at others, what they are doing and what they are making and all of these. So Swami is telling us that, God has given you the intelligence, use it wisely and make self-assessment yourself, who you are, why you have born in this world, why you have been given this gift into this birth as a human. So better use that kind of, I got it from these two paragraphs. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you. Sairam, anyone else would like to say something? I guess then we can proceed, Sister Kalyani.
Brother, I would like, because Sister Anandi's, I have to better give more. She was trying to explain, but because we are to the animals and birds, and we are different. So the birds and animals, they of course it is natural for them to look for food and whatever it is, no. But the human has a special feature, intelligence. So he should be able to differentiate what is different in me than the birds and animals. So with having the intelligence with me, and if I behave like birds and animals, what's the point out of that? So make use of the intelligence and find out who you are. That is a spiritual sadhana. Yeah, that's the meaning I just wanted to highlight. But Sister Anandi was saying that, I am just highlighting. Thank you, Sir.
Thank you very much.
Sairam, I have a question here. Just coming up in my brain. I don't know. I'm putting it right or wrong, but the thing is, like, in this aspect, we see that the manners part is not mentioned here. The intelligent part is Swami is mentioning about the intelligent part of it. The manners, according what I have read it, the manners that the birds, these animals, and the human. All these three forms have this manners. And the intelligence, I don't know, is that that intelligent also has among the other creatures like that or no? Because I want to know one of them. And apart from that, my question is, this intelligence, we are in a spiritual aspect. We are reading this, and we should be focused, using our intelligence towards this spiritual side. But about the inventions and the discoveries and the researches and other things, the humans, they are putting so much time in they're intelligent for maybe we take this as for the comforts of the humanity, but that's also for the betterment of the humanity. How that can be come together here? I would like to know a little bit. I have only a limited knowledge, but I'm trying to understand those parts. As an intelligent has to be used only for this spiritual aspect, or even for the betterment of the humanity, for the betterment of the life of the other people, everybody, that inventions and the discoveries can be used as well. My question is that. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, brother. Sairam, anyone would like to share your thoughts, please?
So, Sairam, brother. So, as yesterday, what I mentioned, all the other animals have 4 qualities: food, sleep, fear, sexuality. And only the human being, they have the knowledge or intelligence. With the knowledge, most of the people, what they are trying to do is try to make money. So money, what will do? Money, it will make you greedy. Eventually, you will lose the peace. Once you lose the peace, you've done, everything's gone. So you have to use the intelligent, proper way to find out who you are. You have to turn inner self, find out inner self who you are. Thank you, brother Sairam.
Sairam, brother. Anyone else would like to share anything, please?
Sorry, everyone. So basically, to answer one of the questions that was just asked, I think we have to use our intelligence to know ourselves, and also to improve. We have to use the intelligence for spiritual purpose, and at the same time, we have to use it to improve lives around the world, because we can't just think of ourselves. We have to be selfless, and we have to improve the quality of life worldwide. So I would say we have to use it for both purposes, for spiritual and for improving life worldwide.
Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
Sairam, here the gifted intelligence means where we can discriminate right and wrong. And here the intelligence didn't mean to say the knowledge, worldly knowledge. This is my understanding. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister. Anyone else would like to add anything to this, please? So, Sairam, brother Arul, I will comment on this, your question. I think the first question is, do animals have intelligence? As Sister Aruna has already pointed out, the buddhi, or which Swami calls it jnana, and the ability to procure jnana is only present in man. It is generally buddhi, which can discriminate between what is right and wrong, what is proper, and so on. Because all animals are living for themselves mainly, and who are their own kith and kin. That's all the animals do. So as Brother Dasan has already said, there's a verse in Mahabharata, and Swami has changed it slightly different. There's a word called dharma, and Swami has used it as jnana. I think Swami uses both as synonyms, which is basically ahara, nidra, bhaya, maitunadi, samanyam tat pashubir naranam, which basically means ahara, food, nidra, sleep, bhaya, fear, and maitunani, which is basically procreation. These four aspects are common for both animals and human beings. Swami says, Jnanam Naranam Adhikam. That is, Jnanam or Dharmam Naranam Adhikam is also used in some places, but Swami always prefers to use Jnanam Naranam Adhikam. That is Jnana, that's knowledge. The ability to see the divinity is only present within human beings. Yes, there may be some exceptions in the animal kingdom also who have been able to see the divinity and be able to connect. But those are elevated beings who have taken the form of animals. But generally, normal animals do not have that ability to see the Atman or to realize the Atman. So Swami says that has been given, and that has been given in the form of buddhi or discrimination. What is right, wrong, what is more than right and wrong. Swami will say what is permanent and what is impermanent is that ability, that is jnana. But we use what Swami says, you use it for individual discrimination. People are using it always for their own personal benefit. And Swami says you don't need to, you don't use such a precious faculty which is given to all human beings. They are not using it for the higher purpose for which it is used. Because Swami says, Jnanena shunyaha pashubhe samanaha. If you are devoid of jnana, if you don't have that jnana, if you don't develop that jnana, you are equal to an animal. And that's what Swami says. He has quoted this many, many times in his discourses. So the thing is, and you asked about what the scientists are doing. The scientists are doing to, as somebody said, the quality of life. The quality of life means what? Entertainment, they're freeing up people so that they don't have to do hard work and so on. But science has proved that even this convenience and comforts have not made people healthy because people have become lazy. Because of the laziness, they are having so many ailments. And then they have to go to a gym or somewhere and work out instead of being active physically in a regular basis. Even though the scientists are discovering different things, maybe we can even say this technology is available, so we are using it. It is a good thing. But the thing is, I think Swami is not against these but he does not want us to devote our entire life, sacrificing the real purpose of life into these things. Because, though the gadget is there, most of the people are not using it positively. They are using it to further degrade their humanity. So the thing is, yes, it is okay as part of their job or their duty. Some of the scientists are discovering certain things, and I'm sure there are benefits to it. But Swami does not want us to. The rishis were capable of creating many of these things, but they desisted from doing these because they felt that is not conducive for spiritual progress. That is why they led a simple life. They don't want a luxurious life. Many of the technologies used to give you a luxurious life, which does not help the spiritual progress. That is the philosophy of Sanatana Dharma. I think that's the philosophy of many religions, even with Christianity and many of the monastic traditions. They will say you need to live a life of poverty. Your poverty in the material sense, but you are rich in terms of spiritual. That is, I think all religions say that, and Sanatana Dharma also says. I think that's what Swami is trying to refer here, because yes, we have to make a livelihood, but don't spend all your energies and all your intelligence in amassing wealth, accumulating possessions. That is of no use. I think that's what Swami is trying to drive, is my understanding. I will let others comment on this also. Sai Ram.
Thank you, Brother Arno. Thank you.
Sai Ram. If there are no other comments, Sister Kalyani, you could proceed. Saira.
When you examine each of these questions, you will realize that you are none of these. For example, you say, "It is my body." When you say that, you imply that you are separate, the body is separate, and that you are not the body. This truth must be understood by you. If I take this as my kerchief, the kerchief can be thrown away at any time, and I can become quite separate from the kerchief. When you say that this is my body, my mind, my intelligence, and so on, it simply means that you are different from the body, the mind, and the intelligence. You are in the body, you are in the mind, you are everywhere, but they are not in you. They belong to you, but they are not the same as you. We should also inquire here into a small situation. Yes, they are you, but you are not they. What is the implication? When you say that you are those things, it is right. When you say that you are not those things, that is also right. How is this possible?
Sister Kalyani, maybe another next paragraph. Just okay, I can go back. It's a long one. Sorry, we can discuss. So Sairam. So I think just one word. I don't know how, if there are youngsters here, they may not know what's the kerchief or what was referred to as handkerchief. Because no one nowadays uses the modern day world. So it's a piece of cloth which I think everyone carries around. A tissue, I think, is the equivalent today. So other than that, I think everything else is rather straightforward, I think. But we can discuss. I think they need to be discussed. So I will open it up for the members who are gathered here to share your thoughts, please.
Actually, the last paragraph should go to the. It should go to the other paragraph.
Yeah. So okay. So we will leave the last paragraph.
Yeah.
We'll discuss the first section.
First paragraph. Yeah.
So I think that's no one saying. I think we have been discussing this in many study circles that we are not the body, and I think that's experientially cultivating that is a long process. But I think we have to strive. If we are not the body, we are living in this body. I think that we all need to understand and how to live our life with that knowledge and jnanam, actually, as Swami says.
Brother, in the last line in the first paragraph, you are in the body. Agree. You are in the mind. Agree. You are everywhere. What does Bhagavan mean by saying that you are everywhere? Now we don't feel it, no? So
I think Swami wants us to realize that we are the Atman.
yeah.
Once we realize that we are the Atman, we are everywhere. That also we don't know, because we don't know that we are Atman. And we don't know what is Atman. I think that's what that's why Swami has placed that there. Because I think that can only happen when we identify ourselves with God. Because we all understand the concept God is everywhere. But once we identify that we are part of that God, we are just an extension of we are just an aspect of that Godhead, then I think going to that state of you are everywhere becomes easy. I think that's what I understand, but
yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Sister Kalyani, I think you could move on. Maybe there will be more discussion after we read the next paragraph. Thank you.
There is a small tub of water. You are looking into that tub of water, and you find by reflection your image in the water. You then say that is you. When you see as an image is you, what you see as an image is you. Then I say, no, that is not you. If you claim that the image is you, and if I take hold of a stick and beat the image, you are not going to feel the pain. How do you then claim that the image is you? That is the image. That is not you. But you are that. If I abuse that image, then you will become angry. If I beat the image, you do not feel the pain. But if I abuse the image, you certainly feel hurt. This means that you are in it, but are not identical with it. In the same manner, you are present everywhere. You are present in the image. You are omnipresent, and you are divine. In this context, and in the aspect of this truth, I say that you are not one person, but you are three persons. The one you think you are, the one others think you are, and the one you really are. The body, the mind, and the Atma represent these three different aspects.
Thank you very much, sister. I think many of us have read this, so there's not much for me to add here. I will ask the participants to share your thoughts or impressions. What can we do with this knowledge Swami is sharing with us? And how can we even practice it in our daily lives? Those are things which we could definitely discuss. So I will open it up for everyone to share your thoughts, please.
Just, I wonder if you could explain the metaphor a little bit. So in the image in the tub of water, is that like your body that Swami's referring to? And
yeah, so it is not the body. Okay, the thing is, physically, that image is not attached to you. So it is not physically there. That is why when Swami says you hit it, you don't feel the pain. So in the physical world, in our physical body, we are separate from everything else we see. Okay, so we look at the tree, and the tree is not the same as our body. Physically, we are not connected. We are not the same in the physical world. And that's what Swami says, the body consciousness, or the one who think we are. We think we are this body. So that in that aspect, though the physically something else exists, we don't physically feel one. So we are separate. And that is the Dvaitam, or separate existence. Then the second point, the water is there, our image is seen. So we sort of identify at our mental level with that image. That is why if somebody abuses that image, then we feel hurt. Though we are physically separate, mentally we are connected to that body of water. Even if there's a picture of us, if it's a photograph of us, if it is placed somewhere, if somebody abuses that photograph or throws anything at that photograph, we will feel offended. Even though we are physically separate, mentally we identify with that only because we think there's an aspect of mind present in that. So that is the second step, Swami says, that's the mental existence, where what others think. Because when others are, for example, abusing the photo, they are thinking it is us because they are abusing the mental existence of ours. So that is the second existence. So here we can see, even though we are not physically connected or something, it's not a physical extension. Mentally, there's an extension of ours in something outside of us whenever we think it belongs to us. For example, if our home, even our car is there, and if somebody throws a stone to what thing we think is our car, then we are hurt. But the reality is we mentally identify with that car. If there's another car which is supposed to belong to somebody else, we will not feel the same way. So what Swami is trying to point out here is, here you have created a mental relationship, connection with another object in this world. It can be another person also. So that is the second level, but that is also our existence. But then Swami is taking it to the next level. At Atmic level also, it is exactly the same thing. Even though mentally you may not be able to be connected, at the spirit level, if you identify with your spirit level, you will be able to see that universal connection with everything in this universe. That's what Swami meant by you are present everywhere. And so how is that possible? What is that spirit means? That is a concept called God. And Swami sort of personifies that for us. So it's easy for us to sort of use the mind and body to sort of establish some relationship with it. But ultimately, Swami is this divine energy or divine existence, this universal Godhead. He just represents there. But the thing is, it allows us to develop the ability to identify what is divinity, what is it capable of. And I think that's the identification Swami wants us. Just the way we identify with our mind, Swami says we need to start identifying with our spirit or the Atman, which is God, which is an aspect of God. And through that, we can relate to everything. I think that's what Swami says. Again, it is just an intellectual understanding of mine. But I think slowly, it's very difficult for us to see ourselves as present everywhere. But I think we all can practice seeing Swami present everywhere as an omnipresent entity. And then once we say we are also part of that Swami, then we are also everywhere. It's like a drop of water realizing that it is part of the ocean. As long as it thinks it's a drop of water, it won't feel that it's everywhere. But once it merges in the ocean, it is everywhere. That because now it's part of the ocean. That is the analogy. It's a big leap for all of us to make. But Swami says that is something which we cannot escape. We should somehow strive to get there. I think that's where Swami is trying to take us. Sairam, I will stop here. Anyone else who wants to share your thoughts, please go ahead. Just an extension, for example, if somebody abuses a photo and if we feel hurt, the same way, if anyone in this world is hurt, we should feel sad. We should feel hurt also. We should be able to empathize with them. And I think that's what Swami wants us to practice, empathize with everyone. Many times in our lives, when we have something, and even if somebody unfairly takes it away from us, we will be very upset because we think it's unfair. But if we know that that person is also my brother, because he's brother or sister, because he's also a child of God, the child God whom we call Father. The Father, if our Father is God, if that child takes away, why should we be worried? So there are many stories of great saints. When people exploited them, even they felt, okay, Lord, you wanted to give this to somebody, that's fine, And that kind of attitude, if we can slowly develop, of course, we can say people are going to take advantage of us. I think there's a difference between people taking advantage and us being able to share. And it's a balancing both these, I think, is the best way to live. I will stop here. Sairam, anyone else who would like to share? How can we apply this principle in our lives?
Sairam, it is this is the spiritual sadhana, no, which Bhagavan wants us to do. So first we have to hear these things, no? Then we have to reflect and then practice, become part of become one of that. Then so these things are very difficult if we don't read, if we don't read, and if we are stuck to only kriya, only the ritual worship. If we are only doing ritual worship, very difficult to practice actually. So the jnana, we have to use the intelligence and do a lot of put lot of questions in ourselves, and at least intellectually try to understand that we are not the body nor the mind, but the Atma, which is everywhere. So ultimately we have to transcend the body, mind, and go to the last real state, which is Atma, which is one with God. So the last sentence is common. We read that everywhere in Bhagavan's discourses. We are three in one. That one you think you are, the one others think you are, and the one you really are. So we usually think that I am the body. So I think I am the body. That's everybody's understanding and a common experience. So everyone. Then the second aspect, the one other thing you are, that is our mind. Because some people will not look at my body, but they might hate or they must disagree with my mind, what the way I am saying. Even in this study circle, somebody might, they may not know me, but they might say this is wrong. So they are looking my mind only. They are not looking at my body. So others think that mind aspect. But really, we are neither body nor the mind, but Atma. So Brother Arno has explained very beautifully, very subtly, that Kalyan's question, you answered it. We have nothing to say more than that, but I just wanted to say the last sentence meaning. Thank you, Zaira.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share your thoughts, please?
So, Sairam, brother. So, if you see divinity from everywhere, even from the all the beings, see the Atma, same Atma from you, from the animals. If we don't differentiate and practice that one, you will achieve the goal. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, brother. Sairam. I will just, I think in terms of, one thing is to say that we identify with Atman. See, because once we start identifying with Atman, the way we live our life should completely change. We should not think anything belongs to us. Everything belongs to everyone. But we are just custodians of whatever we have. And we should be willing to share with anyone and everyone. Then we will not be searching for to make our lot better, because we will be always always be willing to give everything to others. That's why many great kings, did what was called the Vishwajit Yagam. In the Vishwajit Yagam, an emperor is supposed to give away everything. Anything anyone asks, if it is within his possession, he has to give away. That was the in the case of Bali also, Mahabali, that was the ritual he was doing. He was willing to give anything and everything because that's an exercise in detachment. Also knowing that we should identify with the world as the entire universe is our family. That's a big leap of existence. So just saying that I'm God does not cut it. Unless our every thought and word and deed infuses in it that the entire world is my family. Without that thought, we can never say, I am seeing God in myself, because our life would be completely different. So I think that's experientially getting there. As that's what Swami says, expansion is love. We have slowly expand our circle of with whom all we share has to be expanded gradually until it encompasses the entire world. And that's why Swami is, everyone went to Swami. Why? Because for him, whoever came in from whichever country, from whichever religion, whichever language, they felt a kinship with Swami and Swami felt a kinship with them. And that is his love. He never expected anything from anyone who came there. He was just willing to give whatever he could. He didn't give everyone this materially. If you look at it, yes, maybe not. In terms of time, maybe not. But in principle, he shared whatever he had with everyone, without any discrimination, without any money. Anyone can walk into Prashantanalayam, and no one was stopped. No fees were required. So that is the way he ran his life. And I think by setting an example, that's what I can say. Saira.
So Sai Ram, brother, one more thing I can add it. So when we say Sai Ram, that we have to understand Sai, see always in others. So if you don't like the person, don't say Sai Ram. You going to collect bad karmas. So we have to understand that meaning too.
Thank you very much, brother. I don't know whether we should not say, but I think we should try to say, and also try to have the right feeling.
Yes, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. Very nice. Because that's the only way we can identify with Atman. Until then, we are not identifying with Atman. Okay, Sairam, Sister Kalyani, maybe you can read on a little more, I guess. We have about 5-10 minutes, 5 minutes at least.
This morning, one of the speakers gave the meaning of the letter W. Very cleverly, he decided that W stands for woman. In that conclusion, it becomes established that either for the prosperity or for the decline in the world, women alone are responsible. Whether to improve the world and make it a happy place to live in and to take it to the heights of glory, women alone are responsible. It is said in the Bhagavad Gita that women have got a very distinctive quality in them, and that women should get the first place in everything. Our country is described as the mother. Nature, the creation, is compared with a mother. If we fall down and experience pain, we cry out Amma. We do not cry out Appa. In all these situations, in our symbolizing the mother, there is a very distinctive and special position for the woman. A woman can take a person to the heights of glory, and she can also drag him to the deepest depths of degradation.
Sairam, sister, thank you. I think it's pretty clear, so I'm not going to comment. There are enough women and mothers who are participating, and I think they can share their thoughts. Sairam.
So basically what I'm trying to say, so basically from what we're learning here, we should give, it's girls and women first. We should give then we should give them the first priority from this lesson we're learning here.
Thank you, Shobal. Sairam, anyone else would like to add, please?
Sairam, in one of Bhagavan's discourses, he mentioned he mentioned the women has 7 types of powers, whereas the gents have only 3 powers. I marked it out that I remember very well. So, in many aspects, the women are more powerful, according to Bhava's that speech. So that is why even there he said women can make the world or mar the world. No, that the same speech he said. So it's in birth they have more control. They are more they have control of mind much more than the men. That's also we can see in our daily life. And Baba has himself said that they have more powers than men. Thank you, Saira.
Thank you very much, Brother Saira.
So, Sairam brother, I think the mothers here they are talking about the love, because even Ramayanam we say motherly love. The Ramayana, the whole content, Rama is motherly love. They are talking about the love. Ra means mother. So Ra means love. Ma means love. So the love is the important thing. With the love, they do everything. Thank you, Saira.
Sairam, brother. I think all women folk are silent. I guess someone can say something.
Sairam, why Swami has suddenly brought this subject in here, the importance of women and the powers of women and everything. Is there any rationale behind this one? Because we talk about the body, mind, and Atma, and we have to give out the importance to the Atma rather than the body and mind. Suddenly, after that one, Swami has brought this one to give out the importance to the woman. Is there any particular reason suddenly Swami brought this one? I don't object to anything about the importance of women or the Swamis, but what would be the transitional reason between that and this? That's the only question I am having. Otherwise, I don't have any objection, or it's greatly said by Swami. Thank you, Saira.
Saira, actually, this is actually one of the speakers has referred to this one. Here, Baba saying that usually Baba speak at the last person. No? So must be this is Samasava course, I think. Brother Arno can confirm. But so when Baba was speaking as a last person, I think he wanted to give clarity on that the person who speak about the W, about women. Yeah, there is the morning. One of the speakers gave the meaning of the letter W. So that is the reason prompted for Bhagavan to maybe to correct the audience and the speaker. Thank you, sir.
So anyone else would like to comment on this, please? So, sister, so please go ahead.
No, Sairam brother. In addition to Ananti's question in regards to why Swami is bringing up the woman at this point, and I wanted to understand why they were talking about she can drag him to the deepest depths too. So why is saying that also? So I'm trying to understand why Swami is saying that. So that also we can discuss. Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you very much, sister. Anyone else would like to comment on this, please?
Sairam, I think Baba say here the women part because it's a mother has the role of serving husband, the grandmother, for the child. Each child he has to show what their mind, and he has to act accordingly. Then the world, he has to do their duty. Then we go to the work, he has to do their duty. I think more intellect and thing has to play the role for the mother part. And when we call, we always say motherland, mother tongue. And I think that's why Baba is again mentioned. I think that's the reason. Saira.
Sairam, sister. Sairam, anyone else would like to comment, please? Sairam, sister. So I think it's something which we can continue. It's already 4:47, but I will just give a brief, in brief, whatever I think for today. The thing is, even though Swami is talking about karma in this entire discourse, as we can see, Swami is talking about dharma quite a bit. Swami already has put the foundation of Atma Dharma already, that we are not the body, we are not the mind. Okay, that I think we need to get that very, very clear. Even among all the people who are gathered here at this call should know that you are not the body. If you are not the body, don't identify with the body in which you are inhabiting, which is a woman's body. So that is the role which we have taken on this world. So Swami first wants to equalize everything and say that everyone is Atman. First of all, we should get that. Then we go on to the next point of we are inhabiting a certain body, a certain biological aspect of this nature. We have a certain role to play in this world. If every woman understands what my role is, and they do what they have to do, they can contribute to the betterment of the world. Same way every man also. But Swami, from what I can see, if you read the Dharma, actually this entire discourse is a summary of the entire Dharma Vahini. If I can put it in that way, because Swami doesn't say different things in different places. So what he's telling is, every woman should understand, first of all, they are Atma. So in that there's an equality across all human beings. But a woman has a certain role because of the body in which that Atman is inhabiting has certain things which it plays. But according to this, what Swami said, in Tamil also, in many languages, I think there are sayings. I don't want to say that because people say, why don't men take the credit or the debit of anything achievement? But whether it is man or woman, everyone has a role to play. But I think Swami here points out, we are just coming out of Ramayana, like Kaikeyi and Manthara, they were women, and they wielded a lot of power and ability, and they brought certain changes in that story itself. That Swami want to highlight. So the thing is, anyone who has a lot of power have to use it with caution, and everyone should know what each person's role is, and accordingly discharge their duties. So Swami, duty is again karma, dharma and karma. So I think in the rest of the discourse, Swami is basically touching upon various aspects of different people who constitute this world and what their role is. They should not, if you identify with the body, they will say, I am a woman, why is this lot for me? Why is the world not equal? No, we should not think, we should try to avoid thinking like that. We should say this, it's the same thing with Varnashrama Dharma. If I am a Brahmana, if I am a Kshatriya, if I am a Vaishya, if I am a Shudra, there's no higher or low. Everyone is given a role, which is the same thing in any organization. If you go, they say CEO, there are VP, there are directors, there are managers. Everyone is given a role. Yes, there may be a hierarchy for the purpose of normal functioning of, but ultimately all of us are human beings, which is okay because that's the nature of things. We should know what our role is and we should do what we have to do. But I think in this case, Swami is saying that women, by virtue of their position in this world, wield a lot of power of a certain nature, and they can use it very positively and they can use it very negatively. That's why Swami says if somebody falls down, they always call Amma, because the love of a mother is so ingrained in every human being. Whether they, even if they don't like the mother, that bond is so deep and powerful. I think that Swami is sort of lightly touching on that. We can continue to discuss this further at the next study circle. It's 4:50, so I think we'll close today's study circle and we will start our discussion at the next week from this point onwards, from this paragraph. Saying that we'll close with Samasta Loka and Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Thank you, Raj.
Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.